Hi guys, it's Jenny, and I am here today with celebrity brow stylist Joey Healy.
Hi.
Who stopped by to help us with Christine's brow makeover. And Christine here has basically never touched her brows, so she is a brow newbie. So how do you begin?
One of the first things that's an easy rule to start is the beginning. We want her to have, of course, 2 eyebrows, so the center is where we want to start. Now, a lot of times people think the center is easy and they just clear it quickly. There's a rule. The bridge of your nose is really where you want them to start. This works on everybody. It works on men, it works on women, it works on children, it works everywhere. We don't want to do the outside of the nose. That's a rule that sometimes you'll incorrectly hear, that your brow should begin at the outside of your nose. It's the bridge of your nose, and that's the bone. I use my brush and I press it vertically against the bridge of her nose. That's where we want to begin on both sides. So with Christine, the first thing we're doing is just getting them nicely separated. I also really want to square off her brows. It'll be more flattering for her, as I feel like it is for probably 90% of people. We don't want an overly rounded brow, we want it nice and square. It kind of reminds me of like a Kristen Stewart brow, the way she has a nice squared off start. We also want to get under here too. I'll often see that with some of my celebrity clients, that they'll have this rule down, but then there's so much hair growing in here. So even though they satisfy this rule, you have to make sure you lift it up, and that's where we get our squared off head. Another thing I like to address with my clients is kind of this whole area around the brow. There's an old rule that you should never tweeze above the brow. It's not true. You're creating a shape, you need to deal with the perimeter. She has a lot of light blonde baby hairs in this area between the tail and the temple, and up here. I call this kind of no man's land. It's where brows land and they shouldn't be. Now, by getting rid of those, her brow shape looks crisper and cleaner. Also, it's really important for your brow tail that it comes down to a nice crisp point. This makes the brow look clean and polished. Thick brows are beautiful, but a thick brow needs to be manicured for it to really work. That means, like I said in the beginning, a squared off head. It also means a nice tapered tail. It has a clean finish and a clean start. I work with a slanted tweezer. It's the easiest tweezer to use. It really grips the hairs. This is the Joey Healy Elite Sculpting Tweezer. It's really fabulous and super precise. You see that even though I am going hair by hair, I can move quite quickly. It's an elongated tip and it really grabs all of them. A common mistake I see is the arch is too pronounced, and what happens is the brow is kind of broken off. It's part 1 and part 2, and there's no kind of proportion. There's no flow between those parts. Brows are of ultimate importance to the face. They really, really contribute to how you perceive all of the other features. Having the brows start in the right place can, straighten out a nose. Having your brows lifted in the right way can give you a flattering lift. The wrong brow can make you look scared, worried, surprised. The right brow can make you look rested and younger, and they're really super, super impactful. For that reason, the best thing to do, if possible, is try to get to a professional for an initial visit. With Christine, it's her first brow shaping, so it's important that she's with a pro like myself, so we can really guide her in the right direction. After that, maintenance can be a cinch. One thing I always recommend against is waxing and threading. Both methods are not precise. They're not hair by hair. Waxing involves heat and chemicals. I can imagine this fair Snow White beauty would be quite sensitive with hot wax. That's a good example. And then threading, the brows get too thin and asymmetrical. Tweezing is artful and you're in control. The best thing about tweezing, it's a method that you can do yourself at home. Now that we have Christine's brows well shaped, it's time to kind of turn up the volume a little bit and give her a little bit more uniform density. You don't want your color to look unnatural. You want it to look like these eyebrows grew out of your head. If you can see your color, you didn't do a good job. It should look invisible. The first step is picking the right product. To fill in Christine's brows, we're gonna use the Joey Healy Brow Architect Stilo in the color Wicker. It's the perfect taupe. It's neutral, it's not red, it looks natural. I start right at the bridge of her nose. The product's fully retractable, so I just bring up a little bit. Super easy, never need to sharpen it. And then I just do some light, easy flicks through her brow. I'm just kind of making light little indications. You can be a little sloppy because on the other side is the blending brush, and I use that just as much as I use the color portion. I also, because the brush, it gives you so much control with the pencil, I have a tendency to kind of go against the brow. The idea is not to do too much. You're not redrawing your line, you're just giving your shape uniform density. I'm not faking anything, I'm not cheating anything, I'm just bringing out her shape so it's a little bit more front and center. Her best feature is these big blue eyes, and I really want this brow to frame them. By having a brow that looks consistently dense, we're really able to make the most out of her shape.
So Christine's brows look amazing, Joey, and they really aren't that much of a departure from what they were before. They just look better.
It's amazing when you clean up your brows, you edit them, you organize them, how they can completely flatter your face. When people look at you, they shouldn't say, wow, look at Christine's eyebrows. They should say, look how beautiful Christine looks. It's another brow makeover success.
So Joey, tell us, where do we go to learn more about you and your brow salon and your brow products?
Absolutely. To book an appointment at the Joey Healy Brow Studio, to look at the Joey Healy Eyebrow Collection products, you can go on my website, which is www.joeyhealy.com.
Well, thanks so much for coming in, Joey. You've totally educated us on all things eyebrows. So guys, remember to like us here, and for all your news, gossip, style, beauty, and more, log on to HollywoodLife.com.